Well, we've been talking all week about these multiple rounds of showers and storms that are slated to move through North Texas. Round number 1 moved in Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night. Round number 2 is on the way later this afternoon and tonight. So as we break down the timing, there's kind of a couple of different conditions in the atmosphere that could prevent pretty significant storm development. So I'll explain that in just a second too. But if we are to see storms pop, we're going to be looking in the 2 o'clock time frame through about 9-10 o'clock tonight. And then tomorrow we're focused more on a flood risk and a heavy rain threat setting up. So here's the deal. We've already seen a few showers blossom over the last couple of hours. They're taking on a southwest to a northeast trajectory, and there's just a few pockets of light to moderate rain embedded within these showers. But right now, we're not even seeing any lightning associated with these showers. So they're very light and spotty in nature, and they have been able to form below what's called the cap. Now, you hear us talk about the cap often when it comes to our spring storm season. And this is what it is. It's basically just a lid on the atmosphere that prevents significant storm development. And there's a couple of things that we're waiting on as far as breaking the cap is concerned. I'll tell you, right around noon, the National Weather Service coordinated with the Storm Prediction Center to send up a special weather balloon. And that weather balloon was sent up to monitor conditions above the surface in the lower levels of the atmosphere to see if the cap was still in place. And it is. For now, I think that if we're able to heat into the low 80s over the next couple of hours, we'll have enough heating to be able to break the cap. And then we would likely see storm chances fire up. And that's when we have the potential to discuss strong to severe storms. So right now on satellite and radar, the rest of us just looking at abundant cloud cover. There are some breaks out there, though, and breaks in the clouds will help us climb a little bit more. We're currently sitting at 79 degrees. I think if we hit 80 or 81 in the next couple of hours with the return of these strong south winds, that'll be enough heating to be able to break the cap. And then we've got to focus on that strong to severe storm potential through the rest of this afternoon and this evening. Now, there's a chance the cap holds. And if that were to be the case, then we would likely just be looking at run-of-the-mill thunderstorms through the rest of the day. This is one of our short-range, high-resolution models that hints at the cap breaking. This is 3 o'clock this afternoon. If we are to see storms pop, there won't really be a rhyme or reason to where they end up setting up. I think that potential is a little better west of I-35 and north of I-20. And notice 5, 6 o'clock, maybe a couple of lingering cells. Now we're waiting on the front. That front will approach from the north and west later on tonight. And as it does so, we'll see showers and storms blossom out ahead of and right along the front, and then eventually move to the south and east. That looks really scary, but I promise you that the severe weather threat tomorrow associated with the front is limited. In fact, there will be a low-end threat for strong to severe storms, but a higher-end threat for a flood risk, as heavy rain looks to be the main threat associated with tomorrow's storm chances. The Storm Prediction Center highlighting the majority of the Metroplex under that level 2 slight risk with a level 3 enhanced risk for areas to the north and northeast. And I agree with that. I think that if we do see storms fire up and they're able to break the cap, again, if it's able to weaken and break over the next couple of hours, then we could see strong to severe storms blossom quickly with large hail, damaging winds, and that tornado threat existing through the evening hours, likely until a couple of hours after sunset. So again, still a conditional severe threat in place as the cap as of noon is still holding. But if storms pop, you're going to want to stay weather aware. That's system number 2. System number 3 looks to be on its heels, arriving in the Tuesday to Wednesday time frame. Still a little too early to be able to nail down specifics with that third round of showers and storms. We keep a couple showers around Sunday for southern parts of North Texas. A few showers and storms will exist Monday with a low-end severe weather risk, and then the potential for strong to severe storms will return to the forecast again Tuesday into Wednesday. So that active weather timeline today and tomorrow, stay weather aware. Tomorrow focused on that heavy rain potential, and then we wait on that third system, which looks to kind of slow down as it heads our way Tuesday and Wednesday. So we've left higher coverage of showers and storms in place on Wednesday as well.